When in your life did you start to realize that you might be gay?
I would say around the 11th grade. I can remember being in gym class and having the desire to look at a boy in a way that I should look at girls.
During his time as an NFL player, Wade Davis never told anyone he was gay. Now he's telling his story for the first time publicly, at length, to our sister site, outsports.com. I sat down with him recently to talk more about it.
I think subconsciously I understood that being gay, the way I was raised, was wrong. And there was no way that my family, at least in my mind, would accept me. And also that my football family would accept me just because of the perception that being gay meant that you're less masculine.
Were there ever moments where your teammates put you in awkward positions? Not that you were trying to put them in awkward positions.
There was a time in Tennessee where there was a player who was perceived to be different. And I remember another player telling me, you know what, you're gonna make this team probably. Don't do something that will make it such that someone could perceive you as being something else so that you cannot make this actual team. That was like a lightning bolt that shot through my entire body. And I can remember going out that night, going to a strip club, spending probably $1,500 just to make sure everyone, if they even had a glimmer of thought that I was gay, that I wasn't, that I was willing to make it rain just like the rest of them were. So yeah.
When did you say those words?
I told a female co-worker of mine that I was gay.
What was that moment like for you?
Liberating in a way, but at the same time, awful.
When you say awful, what does awful mean?
Awful means taking a scab off my entire body as aggressively and as physically and as horrible as I can. That so I bleed in the best kind of way, but also in the worst kind of way, because I bled alone without anyone really able to offer me any type of antiseptic or bandage. So it was just awful.
Why did you decide that you wanted to come out, not just come out in your personal life, but come out in a public way?
Well, I think first of all, I did it very gradually. You know, I didn't just do this big article and say, oh, he's gay, you know, he's this football player. I started to realize that, you know what, there's an opportunity here for me to really make and affect change, not only within myself, but in the world.
What have you done as a professional? You've now moved into the educational world.
The Hedrick Martin Institute is like a one-stop shop for not only gay and lesbian youth, but also just non-conforming youth, that they can find really great services and a sense of family if they don't have that. So I tell people often I'm living my second dream or fantasy, because I get to do a job every day that really changes lives.
You also are now working for President Obama. How did that happen, and what are you doing?
I'm privileged to be able to speak about the great work that the president's doing and the president has done for not only LGBTQ people, but also for our nation as a whole. We're getting definitely closer to where there's not this underlying current of people saying, you know what, it's okay if you're gay in sports, but really deep down they don't believe it. I do think that people now really honestly, truly, I believe that it's okay to be gay and play sports or be a rapper or be an actor. I just think that we're just moving in that direction. I can't say it's in the next 5 or 10 years, but I definitely think it's on the horizon.
Does it have to be the quarterback? Can it be the reserve player at first?
I'll be flat out honest with you. It probably shouldn't if he wants to keep his job. If he wants to keep his job, if he's the 53rd man on the roster, if he's a free agent who's fighting for a job, maybe he shouldn't. I would hope that he would. I would hope that he feels that he can, but if you want me to be flat foot honest with you, it probably shouldn't be. Just because I don't want to tell someone to give up their lifelong dream of playing in the NFL to You know what? Yes, it should be. You know, screw it. It should be. I don't want to be in the business of telling anyone they can't live their life authentically. I don't want to do that anymore. And it's not what I'm about anymore. So I want anyone, whether you're the first man or the 25th man or the last man or even someone on the practice squad, to come out and say, you know what? I'm gay. I'm still a great athlete, and I'm an even better human being.
What do you think is the biggest challenge? Everyone always brings up the fact that the locker room dynamic. How do you address that?
I would address that by saying that
If you were talking to players too, you know?
If I was talking to players, I would tell them that at never a point in any of my NFL playing career that I take advantage of the privilege that I had to see a man naked. I never even remotely got aroused in the locker room. It's a place where those guys are your family, and the last thing that you want to do is make anyone in your family feel uncomfortable. So it's not even a thought that goes through another player's mind, or that went through my mind, that I'm going to do anything that will make anyone feel uncomfortable. So I think that players have to understand that there's nothing that's going to happen. There are too many young people that I deal with every single day that face tougher issues than whether or not they can be gay in the NFL. You know, I deal with youth that are trying to find housing, or who are trying to go to college, or do so many, in my opinion, bigger things than play in the NFL or play a sport. They need to hear it from me. So I'm going to say, you know what? So yeah. So be out, be proud, be yourself, but also find that family, that community that will support you.